They believed they were choosing freedom. But what they were really signing was a sentence. In 1979, millions of Iranians filled the streets, men and women walking side by side, students, workers, families, elders, faces full of hope, fists raised, voices united by one promise: to overthrow oppression and take control of their own destiny. Wide shots of massive crowds in Tehran, banners waving, chants echoing through the streets, raw energy, historic tension in the air. At that time, Iran was not the isolated nation we imagine today. Before the revolution, the country was rapidly modernizing. Universities were strong, cities were growing, women worked openly, studied, and walked freely through public life. Iran stood as a powerful ally of the West. Show archival-style visuals of modern Tehran in the 1960s and 70s, universities, busy streets, women in professional settings, a nation moving forward. But beneath the surface, something darker was growing. Political freedom was nearly non-existent. Opposition was crushed. The secret police watched everything. Wealth concentrated at the top, while resentment spread quietly below. Shift to darker tones, shadowy interiors, secret police imagery, fearful faces, silent tension. And into that pressure stepped a man who spoke like a savior, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. From exile, his voice traveled through smuggled cassette tapes, not promising dictatorship, but justice, dignity, independence from foreign control. Show cassettes changing hands, radios playing sermons, crowds listening in silence, eyes filled with belief. When the Shah fell, Khomeini returned as a hero. Millions welcomed him. The revolution had won. But revolutions rarely end where they begin. Slow transition as celebrations fade into uncertainty, flags lowering, shadows growing longer. Step by step, the revolution changed hands. Liberal voices disappeared. Intellectuals were silenced. Opposition became treason. Religion stopped being faith and became absolute law. Show newspapers being shut down, protests broken apart, armed guards patrolling streets, religious courts in session. Women lost rights their mothers once had. Clothing became mandatory. Speech became dangerous. Fear replaced hope. Visual contrast between before and after Iran. Women walking freely dissolving into enforced veils, guarded streets, watchful eyes. Iran had become a theocracy. In this new system, disagreement was no longer political. It was heresy. Sanctions followed. Isolation followed. Decades passed. Show maps darkening, borders closing, empty factories, economic strain, young faces staring through fences. While the world advanced, Iran closed in on itself. The regime said it was resisting enemies, but the people were trapped by decisions they never made. Time passes. Years turn into decades. Now it is no longer 1979, it is 2026. And the faces in the streets are young. Show modern protests, young women removing veils, men standing unarmed before riot police, phones raised, fear mixed with courage. They are not asking for another revolution of faith. They are asking for something simpler: choice, dignity, a future. The same future promised nearly 50 years ago and never delivered. Slow, emotional shots of young Iranians, faces determined, bruised, unbroken. This story is not only about Iran, it is a warning written in history. Revolutions sell hope, but when emotion replaces institutions, when faith replaces law, when power has no limits. The prison arrives disguised as salvation. Final wide shot of Iran's landscape at dusk, cities fading into darkness, lights flickering like distant stars. In 2026, Iran is still trying to escape the invisible bars built in 1979. And the final question remains uncomfortable, but necessary. How many other nations are walking toward the same mistake, believing they are choosing freedom, fade to black? Power never arrives screaming. It whispers while people are celebrating. After the revolution, many believed the danger had passed. They were wrong. The real transformation began in silence. Streets grew quiet, banners disappeared, but something darker replaced the chants. Courts were created overnight, not to protect rights, but to redefine them. Judges no longer needed law, only loyalty, only belief. Those who helped ignite the revolution began to vanish, Journalists, poets, professors, anyone who asked the wrong question. The revolution started eating its own. By the early 1980s, fear replaced hope. Executions returned. Public, deliberate, undeniable, not hidden, displayed. Silence became survival. Then came war. In 1980, Iraq invaded Iran. 8 years of blood followed. A generation was fed into the fire. The regime called it holy defense. Martyrdom became currency. Teenage boys were sent to clear minefields with their bodies, keys to heaven hanging from their necks, too young to understand death. When the war finally ended, nearly 1 million were gone, and the regime was stronger than ever, because fear works best when people are exhausted. The world hoped Iran would soften. It didn't. Control expanded, surveillance multiplied, education became indoctrination, media became obedience. Every child learned the limits, what not to say, what not to dream. But something survived: memory. Iranians remembered what was taken from them. Then came the internet and comparison. Young people saw the world they were warned to fear and realized something dangerous. People were free, censorship tightened, firewalls rose, arrests followed. But ideas moved faster than walls. Protests erupted. 1999, 2009, 2017, 2019. Each one crushed, each one remembered. Until one spark broke the pattern. A young woman, a headscarf, a death in custody. Fear cracked. Women removed veils. Men stood beside them, not asking for reform, but for an end. The response was brutal, as always. But this time, something had changed. The people were no longer negotiating. And now, Iran stands again at the edge of history. The revolution of 1979 promised dignity. Instead, it built a cage. The only question left is simple. Will Iran repeat its past or finally break free? Fade to black. History is ruthless with those who refuse to learn from it. Iran has been standing at the edge of change for nearly half a century. Always close enough to see freedom, never allowed to touch it. Show wide shots of Tehran today. Traffic, people moving fast, tension under normal life. Every authoritarian system survives the same way, not by strength alone, but by breaking hope into smaller pieces until resistance feels pointless. That is how prisons are built, not with walls, but with fear. Show closed doors, security cameras, checkpoints, eyes watching from shadows. For decades, the Iranian regime has told its people the same lie. That the outside world is chaos, that freedom is decay, that obedience is safety. But the lie is collapsing. Young Iranians know what the regime cannot stop. They know how the world really works. They see what opportunity looks like. They know what they are missing. Phones glow in dark rooms. Connections bypass firewalls. Truth moves faster than censorship. Show digital maps, blocked screens cracking, signals breaking through. And that terrifies power. Because regimes like this do not fall when people are angry. They fall when people stop believing. The protests of today are different. They are not asking for new leaders. They are rejecting the system itself. No slogans about reform, no faith in compromise. Only one message: enough. Show faces of protesters, exhausted but unafraid, silence louder than chants. This is why the response is brutal. Mass arrests, executions disguised as justice, violence meant to remind people of the cost of defiance. But fear is no longer working the way it used to. Every crackdown creates more witnesses. Every execution creates more memory. Every lie exposed weakens control. History has seen this pattern before. In Eastern Europe, in Latin America, in the fall of every system that believed it was eternal. Power always overestimates itself and underestimates time. The United States learned this lesson differently, through revolution, debate, failure, and correction. Through institutions built to limit power, not worship it. That difference matters, because free societies bend, prisons break. Iran now faces the same moment every closed system eventually faces. Change from within, or collapse under pressure. There is no third option. The question is no longer whether the regime can survive forever. It can't. The only question left is the price the people will be forced to pay before it ends. Show final shots of faces, young, old, men, women, staring directly into the camera. History is watching Iran again, but this time it is not waiting patiently. The revolution of 1979 built a prison. The future will decide who holds the key. Fade to black.